are going to be focusing on, I think, one of the first ever Livepeer hackathons, maybe, but largest and best hackathon that Livepeer has had thus far. And for those of you who are wondering what this hackathon is about, well, as we discussed earlier, we are planning on surging forward to 100x demand with the Livepeer project. And we wanted to use this hackathon as a way of surging forward high-impact projects and ideas by leveraging, obviously, the in-person experience that we have now. And a big part of that is shipping with friends. And for those of you who have never taken part in a hackathon, one of the most amazing things is that particularly when you're working remotely, just to be in person with people that you've been working with all around the world, and having that concentrated period of time where you can ship something meaningful in a short, usually 24-hour period. So what are we going to be doing today? So I'm just going to run through the hackathon overview in a bit more detail. Ben's going to support with that. Then we're going to have some breakout discussions, which you can see we've magically made another room behind. There are 2 spaces for breakout discussions. I'm sorry, we're missing like a side of the square. We were missing a couple, so we might need to take a couple of additional chairs from here as well. Then once we've had those initial discussions that are gonna look at 2 different tracks, which I'll come on to in a minute, people are then gonna come up here, pitch their project ideas that they want to work on, get some feedback from the group. And then the idea is to form a killer team that you can then work on from tomorrow. Then tomorrow, what is the focus? Well, as soon as you get in, we're going to have a quick kickoff around 9:30 a.m. And then there's going to be a full day's hacking. Then in the evening, I think, or early afternoon, around 4 p.m., we'll have presenting the project, the work that you've done over the last 24 hours. And then we're going to try and do some democratic voting on who are the lucky winners of some prizes. I think we do have some prizes going. I believe so. What those prizes are, still TBD. But I think we have some LPT up for grabs, and maybe some special merch from Portugal. Cool. So again, what makes a good hackathon? Well, first things first. What makes a good summit is that we're making new connections. The fact that I had to shut everyone up to come here is showing that obviously everyone is excited to see old faces and new faces. The second thing is working together, IRL. We don't get that chance that often. The third thing is defining your problem. And I think really using the people here to focus on problem definition is a huge part of what you can be doing with the hackathon. And ensuring that you understand your user and your impact well. And then obviously probably the number one thing that should be at the top is having some fun doing it and wanting to hack again after. Now, there are going to be 2 tracks that we had. There is one going to be focused on go-to-market and one focused on LP2 value accrual. Roughly speaking, this is in line with the advisory boards. And we've put the Livepeer go-to-market on track 1, which is kind of the growth and network advisory boards, roughly working together. And then we have the LPT value accrual track, which is looking at markets and governance together. These discussions are going to be happening side by side. We do know there is a trade-off there. What we are going to do is see how many people want to work on each and see if there's a way we can fudge them together. If there's a lot of overlap. So we have these 2 different tracks. The question is then, what do you work on, right? And while we fully support people having new initiatives, what we are trying to do with Surge is working together as one Livepeer and really focusing on the things that the projects that move the needle when it comes to the project. So as you all know, we went through an advisory board process, which had stakeholders from across the ecosystem define what were the core tactical recommendations that we should be working on for the next 6 to 12 months. And these have been put forward across these 4 different areas. So The first one has been looking at the network advisory board, which has been referenced a couple of times. The 4 strategic pillars. Ooh, nearly fell off. Can you read these? Is that readable? Okay. The 4 strategic pillars were creating robust infrastructure for real-time AI video, a unified developer experience and interface, lean, scalable, and flexible network core, and open and collaborative AI video research. Now, I wonder, does this have a pointer? Oh, no. The pointer? Ah, yeah. There we go. Now we're in God mode. We have the individual recommendations that were put forward by different advisory board members. So take a quick second just to think, okay, are these areas that are interesting? And also, obviously, you only have 24 hours to move the needle. So what can you do in that 24-hour period to make a meaningful way forward for instance, defining core video primitives or for simplifying AI job type configuration, right? You're not going to be able to do a huge amount, but working with the right people, you'll be able to either put together a prototype or just scoping something out which can be presented back tomorrow. The second one is focused on growth, which we had strong brand and positioning, strategic AI and video partnerships, high-value builder community, and a coherent network go-to-market strategy. So these were the 4 different strategic pillars. And again, thinking like, okay, scoping out a venture studio or ecosystem fund was a recommendation. I actually want to work on that for the next 24 hours. What can I do to move the needle? Or for instance, we were talking earlier, I think with Shannon talking about the brand and narrative. What meaningful contribution can I make towards a messaging house? Okay, so there for growth. Do you want to present these? Or
okay, so I was part of the Markets Advisory Board. And yeah, the key pillars for us were to create a sustainable network economy. So focusing basically on how LPT is used within the ecosystem to support the different goals that we're pursuing. The second one was to optimize quality markets. Really make sure that there's UX for people to participate sort of outside of Livepeer or connect to the ecosystem in ways that are useful to them. Third one was strategic capital management. We've got lots of sort of things that we're trying to do with capital internally in the ecosystem. So really around how we collaborate on that more effectively and understand the trade-offs of making decisions in one particular area and what that might mean for the broader ecosystem. And then the last one is obviously, to create really strong narrative and value accrual mechanisms for Livepeer token itself. Next one. And then I was less involved in this, but I do think the governance advisory board is like a really important connection to token value accrual because it is the way that we think about how the organisation operates to be able to create more value for LPT holders and I guess all the people in this room. So yeah, having secure, fast protocol upgrade process, incentivized and accountable core contributors, aligned and coordinated project strategy, and effective governance research sits in the background of so much of like what we're trying to do here. So I think it's great that we're going to have like a track that is trying to think about how capital is used in the ecosystem, but then also the ways that helps bring us together as an organisation to achieve our goals.
Thanks, mate. Great. Yeah, there's a huge number of different ideas, recommendations that you can be working on across the 4 different advisory boards. And what I can potentially do is we're also going to have breakouts. So if you're not sure which breakout room to be in, track 1, track 2, you can come and speak to either of us, and we'll say give you an idea of where you should be. Joe is also at the back, and he's going to be facilitating at the back. Cool. So how do you choose a good problem to work on? Well, there are 4 obvious things that you should be thinking about. Obviously, starting with your unique skills and knowledge. If you're a designer, probably working on something related to compute supply is not going to be your best bet. So, think through your own skills and knowledge and choose a problem that's according. Then consider the problems already identified by the advisory boards, which I just showed. Thirdly, thinking of the understanding the unique user. So, who am I building for? And then finally, assessing the impact this has to the Livepeer project. And this is actually probably one of the most important points that ultimately we want to be working on high-value projects as much as possible in the next 24 hours. Then thinking about forming the right team. So obviously, if you're putting forward an idea, there may be overlapping ideas, which you can always form a team with them. But also thinking of people who are knowledgeable on that problem or topic, who complements your skill set and might be a good fit, and who can give good feedback and input without, or thinking who else beyond your team could maybe drop in for a half-an-hour session tomorrow or have a discussion later today, who can support you there. So this is the rough show. Can you see this? We have the workshop kickoff now. We'll then go to breakout rooms. We'll also be discussing ideas actually in the breakout rooms as well, just very briefly. Then you'll be able to present your own idea and listen. We're then going to come back to this space, and people are going to present their own ideas, and we'll also get immediate feedback of like who's interested in working on different ideas to hopefully speed up the final part, which is team formation and getting ready to surge into drinks and food later. And then tomorrow we're going to come back, depending on how this evening goes. That will either be 9 or 9:30. And then you'll have all day. We'll have a quick kickoff, and then you can hack on your idea for most of the day. There is obviously going to be food. We're not going to starve you. And then there'll be a showcase finishing at 5:30, which will be on this stage, I believe. Yeah, cool. So some quick fire questions just to like get an idea of how people are doing. So I hope everyone's arms are working post lunch. So first things first, who's done a hackathon before? Quick show of hands. Okay, nice. That's maybe 75%. Second question, who's already, based on the criteria that we put forward, who's already got an idea to work on? Quick show of hands. Higher, please. Hunter, get that hand up. Or one. How many have we got? Quick, just again, sorry. 8 or 9. Okay, that's interesting. Yes. Freestyling answers. Great. Who's looking to join a team, i.e. doesn't want to do an idea? That's everyone else. It's a pretty stupid question, but quick show of hands. Great. And, okay, key question. And please, everyone should put their hand up. Who wants to work on each track? So the first one is go-to-market, which is like network and growth. Big show of hands. Okay. Second one, governance and markets, i.e. token value accrual. Big show of hands. So I think I'm glad we asked that question because I think we'll then merge both groups, especially if we've got 9 or 10 ideas, which is great. We can facilitate together. Cool. So a lot of information there. Any questions? No stupid questions. I would challenge someone to ask the most stupid question because probably other people are thinking it. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me to look at. That was more of a get the thoughts out of your head onto the page. So yeah, we're going to be talking through ideas there, but Maybe Joe, Carlotta, can you get them up while I'm stalling for time so that we can go through? So yes, we will use them. Any other questions? And Shan, what are the prizes? Carlotta, what are the prizes? Can you sell it more? Healthy amount of your future child's investment fund and some Portuguese goodies. Fantastic. Any other questions? So I think if we're all going to be doing on one round table, this is going to be a historic photograph. We're going to need multiple photographs of this. What we need to do is have like a big table at the back. We're going to merge both tables, and we're going to talk about both tracks at once, and also just go around the room, similar to what we did earlier. LFS, let's do it.